This is Our Rough Draft, a podcast, real talk for real relationships.
Welcome to Our Rough Draft, where we share real stories from marriage, work, life, and the adventures along the way. We'll laugh, maybe get real, and hopefully help you spark some new conversations in your own life.
I'm Denise, the wild, emotional one who loves words and big ideas.
And I'm Tim. I'm the practical level one who fixes what she dreams of.
And this is Our Rough Draft, where we share the stories we're still living. Welcome to Our Rough Draft.
That is.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
Good. And you?
Fantastic.
What's been going on this week?
Same as last week, trying to survive the heat and stuff.
Nothing exciting, huh?
Really nothing. No, nothing exciting to report. I feel guilty every time I come home from work and you're here and you have all these things to tell me about whatever. And I have literally nothing exciting to tell you about my day. It's work.
I make up for it because I feel bad that you come home and you're like, how was your day? And I was like, oh, I better tell him I did something.
Okay. So I'm going to just start making up stuff about work.
I mean, I don't it's real. It's not like I'm fictionalizing my day.
Are you sure? I have no way of knowing that.
I am not fictionalizing my day. I am just looking for the small places that I can share with you.
Yeah.
But some days I want to be like a petulant teenager and be like, my day was fine.
Well, and I've learned not to always ask how your day was because then you feel like you have to make up something and I don't want you to do that. Yeah. I've also learned not to say, have a good day before I leave, because then I'm putting the pressure on you to have a good day, which is absolutely not what I'm doing. But the way that you take things is unique and interesting.
That's a throwback to the principal job, because it'd be like, have a great day. And I'd be like, you have no idea what this day could hold. And the pressure on me making it a great day when the world was making it a bad day.
When the world was against you.
Felt like a better.
Now I just say goodbye and I love you. And that's it. I don't care what kind of day you have. I'm not going to wish you a good day. I'm not going to.
What about the people who say, make it a great day?
I want to punch those people. Absolutely want to punch those people.
Right? I am a glass is half full, kind of already full kind of girl.
Yeah.
But that.
Yeah. Don't put the pressure on me like that.
Right.
Yeah.
The day you're going to have.
Right.
Have your day.
How do you react to, I hope you have a good day?
That's okay.
That's all right?
Yeah, I like that. Hope's always welcome.
In your life?
Always.
Okay.
100% of the time. Shout out Michelle Reed. We still love hope, Michelle. It's true. We did something really fun this week. We did 2 fun things this week. Twice we went to the same brewery.
Oh, that's true.
And both were fun.
Yeah.
One with our friends who tailgate together, the tailgate crew. We went to 100 Mile Brewery and met to plan the tailgates for the year. We do not have season tickets for football anymore, but we're still invited to the tailgate planning party, which is super fun. And got ourselves invited to at least one game because we're bringing food. We don't go to the 100 Mile Brewery that often, but we went twice this week.
Yeah.
And I love it because they have the Hey Buddy beer for Alyssa, the peanut butter stout, which is delicious. Did not have it this week either time I was there. So we'll have to go
that's
back.
Because we were there, I think, almost back-to-back days. Yeah. So,
but we were there for the kickoff meet and greet for ASU Sun Devil Volleyball, which was awesome.
Yeah. That was that. You're right. And I probably need to do a better job of coming prepared with what was great about the week, because that was great. It was really cool to see people turn out and celebrate women's sports first.
Yeah.
But this volleyball team that just is we've been season ticket holders since we've been down here in Arizona.
So 6 years.
Yeah. And it wasn't always this way. It wasn't always that same vibe. It wasn't always a group of, coaches that felt like they were there for the women on the team, that were there to really help them be great. And this is obviously an outsider's perspective, but the vibe in the room felt much different for this team than...
Yeah, JJ's doing such a good job. He's built a great culture.
Yeah.
His assistant coaches have been with him the whole time. Yep. So everybody has been here a couple years now.
Yeah.
And then the new additions they've had to the team, and really great athletes who all stayed.
Yeah.
Right? We didn't have a big exodus through the portal. So
well, and
exciting.
this was the first meet and greet that they've had, I think, prior to the season, if I'm not mistaken. I think JJ said this was the first one, but clearly the players they understood the assignment, right?
Yes.
Like they were sitting, they would walk around and they would just take a seat at a table with a bunch of people and just start talking to them and introduce themselves. So they did a really great job of being ambassadors for the program and really making you, like for me, I talked to a few of them, fewer than you did, but like I want to go and support them. Yeah. I want to be there. I want to cheer them on. I want the program to do well. Like it definitely, I think, had the impact that they wanted. So.
Yeah. And for me, right, the education side, whenever I meet a student athlete, I ask about the student side because that's the side I also love. And so in this environment, when I say, what are you majoring in? They all have an answer. They all know. They all have a plan. And it's really good because not all the sports are like that.
No.
And it was cool because I could connect then personally with the two that are elementary ed majors, which makes my heart so happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it was good. So I apologize for underselling the week because there were good things about the week.
You're going to have a great week this next week.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, you're going to be gone, but...
I know, that's what I'm saying. The whole place to yourself for a whole week.
That's not what makes the week great, though. Like, that's not the great part of the week. I thought you were referring to possibly going to visit Mason at his job, which is now
do that too.
slinging barbecue, which I'm all in on. So,
yeah,
really happy about that.
Yeah. Well, you make it a great week.
Oh,
shots fired.
Dare. Don't you dare.
Okay. All right.
Anyway.
So the focus for this episode, I just thought it would be fun to just have a kind of a regular conversation about our house, our home. And why it came up for me is because I was working this morning and I came down and you were sitting on the couch in the living room, which we don't always do.
No.
We don't use this couch as much as we use others. Mason uses this couch more than we do. Like he'll sit here like he's receiving people.
Right.
And it just made me think about like how you put a house and a home together. And as you're doing it, like what matters to you. So the first question that I did prep you for so you could think about your answer is what thing or what artifact in the house do you especially love or has meaning to you? What would you center as an artifact that you love?
Does it have to be in the house? Can it be in the garage? Can it be?
It can be whatever you want.
Whatever I want. I make the rules.
Yeah, it's our
podcast. Yeah. I think about the spaces and what I love about the spaces, but then when I see things in the spaces, I have certain feelings about them in no particular order. And this is going to sound super weird, but like that tree picture that I'm looking at right now is a thing that has followed us from house to house, has had, I think, kind of a place of importance, I would say, in some of our houses, where it's kind of like one of the first things we look for is a big wall to put the big tree picture, because that's been one of our favorites. And I also think about the paintings that we have by the front door that were my grandparents and hung in their condo for so long. And one in particular, and you know which one, looks like I remember from my childhood, looks like the area that I grew up and makes me think about the area that I grew up, and in fact was painted in that same area. So it's obvious why it does that, but that's one of my favorite things, is to be able to look at that and I can smell the smells and I can feel the temperature and I can feel the breeze, and it just takes me, I think, to a certain place. And then another thing, as I was thinking about this, that I think is coming to mind, and this is going to sound, I think, probably super weird, is one of the woodworking tools that I kept from Grandpa Poserich. And somehow when they were getting ready to sell that house, like we've talked about the chaos that it was, right? Where Grandpa basically just opened the door and told people to come in and grab whatever they wanted. And a lot of stuff that I think we as family probably would have wanted just walked out the door. And I'm super sad about that. But I remember summers spent in the basement pulling scrap wood out of the bin behind the gas furnace that I was scared to death of because it was dark in that corner. And when it came on, it would whoosh. And I thought there was ghosts back there. So I would dash back there, grab some wood, and then, run back to the workbench. I was little. Like, it wasn't like I was 15. Just let's set the stage there. But one of the things that, like, I didn't know anything about, how to make projects. Like, I just hammered and nailed stuff together. But one of the things I used was this rasp. It looks like a file, but it's a super aggressive file. And it's just a chunk of metal with a bunch of teeth on it. But that was my favorite tool because I felt like I could shape things how I wanted. And I would just spend hours down there using that thing. And it was just a favorite of mine. And so the fact that I still have that after all these years, 45 maybe years later is, I think, a big deal to me. So
that's awesome.
It's more than just what it is. It's about what it kind of means to me. So
yeah.
So those are some things, some random things. I'm sure there's many more that I could list, but
yeah.
What about you?
Hey, it's really interesting. This front room has a ton of artifacts in it. And I kind of love that because it feels a little bit like a museum. And I think different things catch my eye on different days or different moods or whatever. But I like having the people that those artifacts remind me of kind of in the room.
Yeah.
So when I asked you the question, I was looking at the one shelf and there's, I don't know what it's called, but it's a surveying tool that was Uncle Bill's.
Yeah.
And right next to it are the glass
insulators from power poles.
Yeah. That Aunt Noan had lined up in the cabin. And I just love that shelf. And on that same shelf are little pewter Padres, little friars that were also Aunt Noan's. So that shelf is a little Aunt Noan-y. But then I also have Granny's typewriter.
Mm-hmm.
And I just freaking love that I have typewriters all over this house.
Yeah. It's interesting because I feel like, one question in my head is what makes a thing an artifact? Because I assume your houses that you make will turn into artifacts for our family. Like, it will remind somebody of you, whether that's mom, grandma, great grandma, I don't know, but I think it will eventually remind somebody of you. And so I guess for me, the definition of an artifact is, what memory does it bring up? Like the rasp, for example, that's not that. It's grandpa and it's the basement and it's the thing about that.
So interesting that you say that, because one of the things I do love in our house are the babies that are everywhere. And
you're referring to glassy babies for those that can't see what you're pointing at.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, just in this front room. Woo. Okay. I do love them. But here's the thing. I have noticed on the internet that people are selling their glassy babies. Like this one lady the other day is like, I need to pay for a trip for my kid. I'm selling these glassy babies. And I have a reaction to that is not positive, because each of them are an artifact to me, from who gave it to me, when we might have bought it, what else it had to do with, how it completed a conversation, whatever that is. They weren't bought just because they were pretty. They were bought because they were, I don't know the word, memorializing a moment, but capturing a moment in time.
Yeah.
And so they all live here as representatives of those moments. So how do you sell off your moments?
Ooh, whoa.
Right?
That's a really deep question.
But maybe that's not how they bought them, right? Maybe they bought them because they were pretty.
Could be, yeah.
And then now they can sell them, right? There are collectors who buy them because they're unique and that type of thing. But every time I see that, I have that reaction of bleh.
Yeah.
So going back a step to what you're saying about my little houses and hearts, I make these wood houses and I'm not super great at it. There are definitely people on the internet who are more detail focused, and their technique of painting or their wood craftsmanship is better than mine. But I just love making them. I love cutting them and sanding them and painting them and all of that. But what I've been doing with them lately is I kind of knock on their doors and find out who's living there. And then I create a story that goes with each house. And I'm writing those down. And eventually, if people want to buy a house, it comes with a story, right? And so you get both. So then I think about, I probably should write down the stories that go with the babies. We did it for a while. We have the book with the color in there, and we would write who it was to or who we bought it for and kind of capture that moment. So I think that would be an important thing to do too, because otherwise you come in and you see 12 glassy babies in the front room and you're like, what is this about?
Yeah.
But
it could look like just some random obsession with that thing. But I think to your point, calling out the fact that each of them does have a moment that goes with them is pretty important.
I mean, like literally, like I was putting the green ones away the other day and I was like, this one's from this person and this one's from this. And so anyway, I do love the babies as well. But it's interesting that you went to wall art for yours and I went to stuff for mine.
But I think the similarity there is the feeling and the story and the, what does that bring up for you? What is the moment behind that thing? Because for me, the moment behind the wall art, this tree picture that has followed us everywhere has no special collector's significance. Like I think it was from Pottery Barn, maybe. Like it was.
But it's part of a tree story also.
Well, it's part of a tree story, but it also, I think at the time, if I remember correctly, reminded us of a tree that was close to us, maybe in Madison Park, someplace that we had walked and we'd seen these. So again, it's not about the thing. Like you could find that tree picture probably in a lot of other houses. So it's not a collector's item, but it is the moment.
Right.
Which I think goes back to your question of how do you sell your moments? And I think that's powerful.
Yeah. There's also one that I think is both of us. Like we both mentioned stuff that like, the picture was the only one we got together. Everything else came from our individual lives before we came together. But right on the end over there, our little cactus skeleton.
Yeah.
I love those.
Yeah.
The one I'm looking at is a shape of a V, which is also super important to us because we always talk about the 5 of us and our 5 tattoo is a V. And so that little cactus skeleton over there, we were hiking and we snuck it out of the mountains.
We did that twice.
I know.
Because there's another one in this house too. So if anybody's listening and
we're in our backyard and put them inside.
Right. Yeah, they're cholla cactus skeletons, which are fascinating if you've never seen one, which I assume somebody growing up in the desert has seen all the time. But for me, I'd never seen them. So
we are on a hunt for a saguaro skeleton for sure.
That doesn't break the bank.
Right.
Those things are expensive.
Super expensive. So we'll get one eventually.
Yeah.
Okay, more house questions. So the other house question that was on my mind is, where is your favorite place to sit and relax in the house? You can put the caveat of the weather is beautiful.
If the weather is beautiful, meaning it's below 90, maybe. If we're talking about that, I think out by the fire pit in that corner that we've created where it used to be a jumbled corner when we moved in, had a random bush, had 2 citrus trees that weren't really doing anything. And then the rest of it was just kind of a mess. And we've turned it into a greener corner with a fire pit and 2 chairs. And we have further plans for it. But I think it's just about that space is comfortable. Typically, we go out there at the end of the day. It's a great place to talk and not be distracted by TVs or phones or anything else. Yeah, it's just a nice space to go and sit. So I think when the weather's beautiful, definitely that place.
Yeah.
When the weather is not quite as nice like it is right now and it's too hot to sit outside, I think in the family room.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the place where it's like the heart of the house for us. That was the thing that sold us on the house. It's the thing you notice first when you walk in the front door is that great family room, kind of a great room type of situation. So it feels like you're in the center of the action in the house by being there.
Yeah, I love it out there too. I wish that the dogs didn't shed.
Yeah.
I can't do anything about that. But like, I grew up with this giant pillow on the ground that we could all flop on. And I love that. Here, it would be hairy all the time.
Yep.
And they would flop on it.
Yeah.
So that's not super ideal. So my little corner of the sectional is kind of my version of that. And I have a ton of pillows there and I kind of flop in that corner. So I think that's a very nice place to sit. I also love out on the couch in the backyard.
Yeah.
So where it's shady, when the weather is nice, I love to go out there and just take a little snooze.
Yep.
Because it's warm, but it's also not in the direct sun.
Yeah.
Which that has changed over time. I used to really love just being in the direct sun all the time.
Yeah. When you don't have access to it as much, then I think it becomes more important. But when you have access to it all the time, maybe you take it for granted a little bit that it's always going to be there.
Yeah. So our next big project in the house is the guest room.
Yep.
So it's lovely right now. People can come and stay and it would be a perfectly lovely experience. But we want to up it a little bit. And so some built-in shelves, new paint color. What else do we want to do in there?
We already did the drapes or the curtains. So I feel like I don't think anybody says drapes anymore. I don't think people have drapes. Yeah, they're blinds. I guess I was searching for the word and for some reason drapes came to mind. I was using it in the generic term, window coverings.
There you go.
The bathroom. We want to redo the bathroom in there because it has an attached bathroom, which is one of the things that makes it great.
Yeah.
It's like a little hotel suite, but the bathroom is
a walk-in shower, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just original cabinet. We changed out the faucet, which was great, but I think it needs to be
upgraded.
I would gut it. I mean, not like down to the studs, but I would put in a new vanity, new mirror, new lighting fixture, etc. So
cutting it feels like you're going to get a new toilet too. Or do you have a
maybe? I don't know.
Wow.
Different tile.
Okay, so if you want to sponsor us
for the bathroom remodel,
do not have the budget for that.
It's not a giant bathroom. And I have found many warehouses here in the greater Phoenix area that have vanities that you can buy that are not like going to Home Depot and spending $6,000 on a vanity. It's a single
vanity that looks like everybody else's vanity.
Yeah, and it's a single sink vanity. It's not. And we can do the work ourselves.
I'm good with the vanity. I was having an issue with the toilet. Why change out a toilet?
Are you attached to that toilet?
Not at all. But it just seems like something that people really spend money on. That is where my head goes. The things that people choose to spend money on is really interesting to me. Our house next door. It's not our house. This is our house.
the house
next door just went through a complete remodel down to the studs, everything redone. Backyard, inside, garage floor, garage door, roof, everything. It's been a perfect nightmare to live next door to, with all the noise and the dust and the carrying on-ness of it all, working every day of the week. But it looks like maybe there's going to be people living there soon. So the trash cans were delivered and the house was original. So it hadn't been upgraded in 40 years. So probably needed it.
Yeah.
So it'll, I'm sure, look great inside. But the constant remodel noises were too much for me.
It was a lot.
I'm also only ever here. So if I actually left the house,
so you experience it more than somebody who leaves the house. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. So I think the guest room for me, the other thing I want to do in there is have it be a place where when people come who have kids, potentially our children having children, that they feel like it's a little bit of an oasis for them, that they can come and get away and feel spa-like when they're in there, and yet still have it be kid-proof in a way that they can have kids in there too. Knowing that when my mom comes to visit, your parents come to visit, we'll be up in the guest room because having them on the first floor is why we bought this model of the house. We also want it to be spa-like for us.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that. Other than that, I feel like the house is in pretty good place for big projects. Like we have other bathrooms I think we would redo. I think do something different under the stairs. But for the most part.
Yeah, I don't think there's a lot that needs to be done. I think most of what we want to do also is probably outside, where there's some things that we want to do in the yard. There's like one need to do, which I think is the deck, but there's other want to do's, like how do we improve the corner? What other plants do we plant? And,
bringing the barbecue,
bringing some color, I think, to the space or some character and texture.
So when I say house episode, are there other things that you think of that we have done here to make this feel like a home?
Yes, I think that something simple and probably something that a lot of people do is you put your stamp on a place, unless it's a brand new house that you have picked the colors in, you put your stamp on a place by choosing the color that you want to surround you, I think. And I think that's one of the things that when we talk about the upstairs bedroom, we want to paint. We need to paint the walls, the ceiling, because the color is not representative of what we want right now. The very first thing I think we did, even before we moved in the furniture, was paint our bedroom, knowing that that was the place that we were going to spend a lot of time. We didn't want it to look the way that it did look. And so it was a chance to come in and personalize it and make it our own. And as we go around and touch different pieces and parts, I think we do that. We did the upstairs rooms. As you said, we'll get to the bathrooms, but to me, that's more than just putting color on a wall. I think it's putting your personal stamp on it and making it your own. Yeah. Maybe it's like graffitiing a house, essentially.
It's a tattoo for the house.
Yeah, but in a very nice and appropriate way. And then I think the other thing that we did was create places that we feel are comfortable to hang out in. Like I think about the side yard that used to have garden beds over there that we pulled out and turned into basically the hot tub area where the hot tub goes, and there's other places, and eventually, and it's not quite done, but eventually it'll be like a little oasis over on that side as well.
Yeah, so I think to that point, I think one of the things that we tried to do is create places where people can be comfortable in multiple places in the house. So if everybody's here with extended people, that everybody has a place to go and feel comfortable, and it doesn't have to be everybody on top of each other.
Yeah, and I think that we saw that a little bit when Thatcher graduated, and Thatch was here, Kyla, her family, although her family were staying down in the Airbnb, but I think when people came over, there was enough space, whether it was around the bar in the kitchen, the family room, the living room, the dining room, like there's enough space to be able to have a place to sit and not feel like you are on top of everybody else or having to artificially create a spot for yourself.
Yeah. So you can go and you can watch TV, or you have a spot where you can go and read.
Yeah.
That to me was an important piece too, is we love books so much.
Yep.
Do I love books more than you do?
I don't think so. No.
I don't either. I think we're equally fond of books.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of books, but I want them accessible to people so that you can come and pull a book off the shelf that looks interesting and flip through it. And so having those books like scattered about, not just in one place where it might have some interest. This big box of books never got put away from Christmas. And I'm kind of okay with it. It's all of our Christmas books live by the couch, because I can just imagine little people someday pulling it out and looking at it. And why would you put them away if they're not going to be here at Christmas? Like, you have it out so you can take a peek at it. I have a lot of kids' books. I have gone through my classroom library and gotten rid of probably 60 to 70% of the books. I go to look for a book now to like suggest to a student. I'm like, oh, I got rid of that. So that's interesting. That might not be 100% true, because Mason has a ton of books in his room. They might be up there. But we have books tucked in every room. So if you come and stay, you do not need to bring a book. There will be a book that you can pick up and read.
So many. Yeah. And a lot of them, I think when I look at the books that I've got, like in my office or in your office or anywhere else in the house, because they are everywhere, I think there's some that I would get rid of that hold no particular meaning for me. Not your books. I'm not talking about getting rid of anything that you're passionate about. But I think there's there's a percentage of them that have just landed on the shelf because we've read them and they land on the shelf. There's others that have landed on the shelf because they're pretty important to us. And it's interesting when you look at it, because I think it spans the range, and probably more so for you than me. You read, although lately you're more nonfiction or more fiction, you tend toward nonfiction related to the things that you're passionate about.
Yeah.
So you can go anywhere from a page turner to a very thoughtful, almost academic type book.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
think my bookshelf interests would be maybe just as broad. No, actually probably a little bit more narrow.
Yeah.
In terms of the things that I read. So point being, there's a broad range for a lot of different people to come and shop from.
Yeah, definitely come and have a little reader's retreat.
Yeah.
The other thing that's important for me in a home is having things to do. I write about this in my book, excuse me, growing up between two houses, and my mom's house still, there's always something to do. You can play a game, you can do a craft, you can do whatever. There's always something. Make something in the kitchen. At Tom's house, there was nothing. You could play Monopoly or Scrabble. That was it. There weren't even ever pencils or paper to do homework with. And there were no books. And so I would look at photo albums when I was there. So I would constantly be going through the photo albums. But it was interesting in writing about that in the book, about like what that did to me, like as who I am creating home. I love having stuff to do. Let's play a game. Let's do a craft. Let's make some art. Let's paint. Let's whatever it is. Let's build a little house.
Yeah.
I love that. And I never want to get to the place where I feel like it's cluttered, because you know what happens when I feel cluttered. I like clean and get rid of everything.
Yeah.
Because everything can have its place. But I don't want to just sit and watch TV. I want to do something.
Yeah.
So I want, when people come, I want them to be able to do stuff too, if it's interesting to them, right? Like, well, I know we've done it before where we've had a puzzle out, but we've also had art night, or, and I just
we've
love
done
that.
paintings as a family, or we've done, I think that is more than just having something to do. I think it goes back to the point you're talking about of creating that welcoming environment, having a space to be, but also having things that feel like you can do stuff to engage your mind, so you don't have to sit around to be bored. You don't have to just be at the whim of everybody else and their desires. You can paint a house if you want to. You can paint a painting. You can play a game. You can do whatever. So, yeah. Yeah.
We've talked about hosting retreats. I mean, I've hosted retreats. I want to do it more. Like, I love the idea of doing it. And we've talked about doing it together because I think we're fun together, right? We've gone to enough marriage retreats where we feel like we can kind of figure that out. But I don't think it has to be about marriage. I think it's just about like figuring out what you love to do. And maybe there's some woodworking in there. Maybe there's some painting and crafting in there. But just having a few days where you can come, be with other people, be creative, be reflective, and leave recharged, like, just to me feels like something I want to do every weekend. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Yeah. Okay. So if you were going to do one fun thing today in the house, what would you do? No, that's a really good question. I think I would read. We've been talking a lot about books, and I started my day by reading a book that I'm currently involved with, but I was reading it on my Kindle. And I think what I miss is I treat reading right now as something to help me sleep. So I do a lot of reading before falling asleep, which naturally lends itself to the Kindle. And there's something to be said about putting your hands on a book and having the physical thing. So I think what I need to be better about is, in the downtimes where I'm bored, where I might reach for my phone or I might, do something else, I can sit down with a physical book and I can read it during the day. Yeah, when the sunlight's out. When the natural light is out. Yeah. So I think more about that. Like, I was intentional about coming out here, sitting in a space that I don't normally sit in, and separating myself from maybe what my normal weekend morning routine would be. And I think I want to do more of that. Like, I think there's some
habits that I need to start breaking. So,
Yeah.
what about you?
I love the idea of reading. I started my day with that yesterday. I read a ton of Substack. So, especially with like this authors group that I am associated with right now, trying to read everybody's current essays. But I'm at my desk and I'm doing it. And I wished for yesterday, like an iPad to read those on because I don't want to be on my phone. I wish there was some medium where I could like download Substack to go onto my Kindle or whatever that is. I don't love always being on a screen, right? Old fashioned magazine kind of reading. So yeah, I like that. I just want to try and figure that out. There's got to be a way to do it or invent it, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. I'm working on a needlepoint project right now, and it's so much easier to do in the natural light than at night with a special light so that I can see it.
Yeah.
But I have to do my laundry and pack today because I am going to San Diego for a week. So I guess I just need to decide what creative project I'm taking with me on my trip to focus on.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I think the good news about your creative projects are they're pretty easy to pack along. Like you like painting, you like your houses, you like needlepoint, you like a lot of stuff that's pretty easy to throw in a suitcase where I can't throw a table saw in a suitcase and do that. So I sometimes get limited by what my creative projects are. And I think I need to expand that. Like we did watercolor painting one weekend, and I would love to, see what ideas I could play with or how I could learn more about that. I've even toyed with the idea of trying to find an adult art class.
You should do it.
So, yeah.
Because I'm about to start getting really busy. Classes are starting, both doctoral classes and teaching classes.
Yep.
I need to finish revisions. Like it starts to get real here all of a sudden.
Yeah.
So awesome. Well, we'll keep doing this.
Yeah.
Because this is fun to do.
This is fun as well.
Awesome. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening.
Bye,
Have
everyone.
a great week.
Oh, oh.